Hello and welcome to this tutorial. Today we'll be having a look at this iron farm that you see right behind me. I'm going to call that the Iron Head, and this is actually a 100% efficient single village iron farm. Now my last tutorial for iron farms was about a 99.9% efficient iron farm. Now I thought at the time that that was the maximum that you could get, but I've actually managed to squeeze that last tiny little percentile out and get a 100% efficient iron farm. Now what we mean by 100% efficient is that when you have your spawning pads inside the centre of the village where the golems can spawn, that every single one of those pads is covered. So that is a 100% efficient iron farm. So when the village actually tries to produce a golem, it will produce one every single time. Now the village will actually try and produce a golem about once every 6 minutes or 5 minutes 50 seconds I think it is, and it'll try 10 times in that. Well, it'll try 10 times when it tries to produce a golem, and it will try in 10 different locations. Now with this one, it'll actually find a location first time, every time, because it's always got a valid spawning spot. And we'll have a little look at a clip just so that you can actually get an idea of what's going on here, and we'll have a look at that now. Right, so what you'll have seen there is sort of how the golems get dispensed with and the water streams going off and all that kind of thing. And I should say this actually uses no fancy redstone whatsoever, no command blocks, nothing like that. It's just straightforward game mechanics. It does take a lot of resources, but it doesn't take any particular skill. So let's get down to it and let's actually have a go at making one of these, and I'll explain all of the mechanics that have gone into making this work. So here we go. Now you remember I said you don't actually need to do any complicated redstone. I really wasn't kidding. You need just very simple redstone. You just need a heck of a lot of it. You actually need 2,916 blocks of redstone to do this. So the first sort of thing is you need to get 18 going out in this direction, 18 going out in this direction, and then 9 going up. Right? So I'll go away and do that now and come back and show you the result. And there you have it. That's what 2,916 blocks looks like when set out in this formation. Now the reason you need this many blocks is because the 16 by 16 blocks that the golems can spawn in sits right in the middle of here, right? And then you've got a 6 vertical space for them to spawn in as well. Now I've seen the golems actually spawn right on the edge of a block like here, and then they're mostly out in this block. So if this block is the wrong kind of block, then it will prevent them from spawning, or even worse, they won't die, and then then the whole farm will just stop working. You'll have a golem stood in there forever and you'll get no iron at all. So you need the golem to die. And it was sort of same on this side here. So I needed a 16 by 16 area with a 1 block padding all the way around to make sure that wherever they spawned, even if it was right up on this edge, they were still inside a block enough to actually die from that. And we're going up 9 blocks because they can spawn right on top of the 6 block area. So they can spawn from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And they can spawn on top of that block right there. And then they've got 3 height on top of that. So again, I needed to use more redstone to make sure that they could actually spawn in that area but still take the suffocation hit. So that's basically the principle behind this entire farm. It's lots and lots of redstone. They spawn inside the redstone, they suffocate, and their drops come out elsewhere. And then you just have to sort out the drops. And that's basically what the rest of the farm is all about, is making sure that the drops don't go flying off absolutely everywhere. Because when I was first experimenting with this, the drops were going out at right angles, vertically, just everywhere. They were landing all over the platform. So anyway, the next thing that you need to do is get some stained glass in here, and we need to wrap this up all the way around with the glass. You can have stained glass, plain glass, whatever kind of glass, as long as it's glass and full block. So the idea of this is, when I was doing the experimentation, the items coming out the side would get calmed down a little bit by the glass. I tried putting solid blocks right up against it and they'll just go straight through. So this is my attempt at stopping the blocks, well, stopping the items from flying all over the place. So we need to wrap this all the way around on all four sides, and I'll get on with that and I'll see you in a moment. There we go, so that's all of the glass added now. Now next I need to add the iron. Now this can be any solid block. I particularly liked iron because I thought it was fitting with the iron head over on the other side there, and also it's easy to count when you're doing tutorials. Now it's the same kind of thing, you need iron all the way around this. This just needs to be one block higher though. And yeah, let's just get on with that now. So this is what you should now have. You should have basically every single scrap of redstone on your entire game set down in here. Huge quantities of redstone. A layer of glass all the way around, and then a solid block. And the solid block, it doesn't matter what the solid block is, as long as it is a solid block and not something else like an extra layer of glass so that you can see in and look at the pretty redness. Because if you put something that's non-solid, like a transparent block, the items would just go flying through there potentially. Not necessarily, but they could. So we want a solid block on the outside, like stone or brick or something. So next we're going to actually add in the villages, or the village. Now where we're going to do that is down here, and I'm just going to use 24 doors because you don't actually need any more than 24 doors. 24 doors keeps it nice and balanced. So I'm going up from the third block from the ground, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Simple. So it's 1 in and then 6 across, and make sure it's the third block up off the ground. Now next we do the same over here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Head round the other side, do the same. So the reason that we want these at this level is because the bottom of the doors that we're going to place here actually form the village centre. So the bottom of the door is actually the level that the centre of the village will be at. So the area in which the golems can spawn in, the 3 above and the 3 below, is centered on that. So that's why we've got it at this level specifically. So I can just run round now, put in all these doors. It doesn't actually matter what type of door you use. I think the only doors that you shouldn't use are iron doors, because I don't think they register them properly, but I don't actually know. Now next up we need to get some villagers around here to register the doors. And the reason we're doing that at this stage is so that you can start seeing things, the golems spawning and drops starting to drop. So I'm just going to put an extra block there and get them to come in there. So 1, 2. Now I've put 15 in there. The reason I've put 15 in there is because I'm going to put 15 on the other side as well. And the reason I want 30 altogether is because then this village can support 3 iron golems at any one time. Which means that at any time, whilst one of those golems is inside dying very, very slowly, because they do take a long time to die from suffocation damage, then the counter will still be counting. It will still be counting up towards the next spawn because it hasn't reached its cap for golems. So that's why you want about 30 in there. I've had 2 of them spawn at the same time, and that's getting a little bit close to the cap for me, so I think 30 is the right number. So let's get another 15 in here. Let's just check the entity number. So up here, that's, yep, that's 30, perfect. So let's get these guys locked in forever. That's their job for now. It's probably worth putting in a light source in there with them if you're doing this yourself, just in case. I don't think zombies can spawn in there, but you know, you never know. And now you start to see where we're getting the idea of the iron golem head from over there. It's very clearly going to be a face. Okay, so next, now that we've got the actual village set up, that is centered on this area here, on the middle 16 by 16 blocks and the bottom 6 blocks of redstone. So now that we've got that in, we're just going to put in our ice. So the ice needs to go from corner to corner, like so. And the reason that we want ice down here is so that when the water starts flushing things forward, they slide forward nice and fast, and I'm going to be using the half slab method, so I want the ice so that the items can slide underneath the slabs. So let's go ahead and now fill that in. So there we go, that's what you should have at this time. We're already getting some golem spawns, as you can see here. This one gave its life so that we might have iron. Right, so what we need to do now is build up the sides here. And we need to go up 5 here, so we go up 1, 2, 3, whoops, 3, gosh that was another one. I've lost count, distraction, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is going to be the very top of the head. And again, we need to go all the way around with this. So, yeah, lots and lots of outer blocks as well. Now the reason that we're doing this, going up 5, is we want to get 2 water streams going forward from the back here, and then just tipping off at the front into either a water collection stream or into a hopper collection sort of system. And the reason that we want 2 of these is because I tried it with 1, and sometimes these things come out at such unbelievable velocity from underneath that they'll pass straight through the top layer, which was at this height. So the top layer was at that height. They used to come up, and I'd lose one every so often. It would just go shooting straight through that, and I'd go back and have a look and find them just sat on top of what was the top of the farm. So I've been testing this extensively for quite a long time. Now that sort of gives us a clue what you're going to be doing next, and that's going to be putting in a layer afterwards. So let's get the outer ring first, put in some water sources, some signs and things so everything flows forward to where we want it. And then we'll put on another layer on top, fill that in with some water sources and signs, and then we're basically done. So yeah, I'll just get on with filling out the outer layer so that you can get an idea of what that's meant to look like. Then we'll put in the water sources and we'll move on from there. Okay, let's do it. Wow. And that's what we've got so far, and that was pretty amazing timing. I don't know if I caught that on camera, but these 2 just came rocketing out of the middle of the machine and flew up into the sky and came running back down. So yeah, we've got 5 high on each side there, and we're going to get in some more shoots, but first we just want to get a little extra lip across the front here, and this makes sure that the water streams sort of come off and gather up in one nice place. So I would say just 1 extra thing there. Whoops, going all the way across. Let's see if we can do it better from this angle. Yeah, just a bit. Right, so that's going to there. Next we're going to want to add in a little collection area. Now for this I'm going to do it with just water streams, pushing everything to the centre and then collecting it in a few hoppers that drop into a chest or 2. So this is the kind of thing that we want. We just want this running all the way across, and we'll punch out in the middle where it's going to put in the chest and where they're all going to collect up. So let's get a cap on there. Take that one out, go back down, do this one. There we go. So let's just pop in a water source there and a water source there. Now that'll show us the middle 4 blocks that we need to take away and replace with hoppers and chests, but we'll do that last. For now, we'll just leave that as is. So now that we're taking this all the way out here, and we can see that, we just need to fill this in as well. So this comes up all the way up to here. There was another couple of items just rocketing into the air. I mean, this could be quite entertaining in itself, just watching these go flying around all over the place every couple of moments. So yeah, let's I get very distracted quite easily. Let's get these side bits in, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, bub, 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 bub. So that's where we want them to go to. Now from here we need to count back 8 blocks. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's where we're going to get the water to come from. Now I need some slabs. Slabs, yep, let's pop some slabs in there. And the slab goes on the 9th block on the top half. So let's make sure that we've got that count right. So we want it to run, the water to run all the way up to there. So we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we want slabs going all the way across here. Going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oops. I should reiterate, we only want them on the top half of the block. And the reason that we want to do that is that when the water streams at the back push forward and catch the items, I want the items to get pushed underneath the slabs and just flow straight forward. And I'm going to put some signs here going all the way back. So that was 10, and I'm going to do 10 from the other side and see if it all matches up. I'm pretty sure it should. There we go, so that's 10 from each side. Just keeps it neat, and it means if you need to replace anything or change anything here, you only have to change one half of it. So the way that I place those, for anybody who doesn't know, is you start off by placing one against the wall, and then you press shift and you click on that first sign and it will place it ahead of it there, and that'll hold the water back. So sorry, I didn't mention that before, but I think most people are pretty aware of that one. It's just in case. So next we're going to put water sources all the way across the top of these half slabs. Now all of these should just run right up to the edge, nice and neat, and just drop straight over, ready to be pushing any items into there. Now next we need to do something similar here. So we've got this one here, we want the water to stop right there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's same again. On the 9th block we place the slabs. And on the 10th block we place the signs. And that's the other 10. So we've got this one. We're going to run the water across the top of the slabs again, like we did on the last one, and that just runs like that all the way across. And you'll see in a moment when we look over how nicely that joins up. So that joins up with that and just sort of pushes things in. This is a really good system for moving mobs, but you can't have the half slabs down there. You have to use signs instead. Whoa, there we go. There's some bits and bobs flying up again. It's very amusing system. So yeah, we've just put in those ones, and now we just need some water sources at the back. Now you'll have seen that on video, and you'll sort of get an idea for what I mean by the kind of velocity that they come out of this thing with. So that's the first layer done. Next is we're going to add an extra layer in right here, and this is going to do basically exactly the same all the way across to the front. Whoops, I'm missing them like crazy. And we'll stop right there. So we're going to do exactly the same on this layer as what we just did down there with signs and the slabs and the water sources, and that's just going to give it an extra opportunity, because like I say, sometimes those items do make it through these blocks. I mean, they come out there at crazy speeds, they shoot up, and well, you don't want them to go everywhere, otherwise it'd be a very difficult collection system, but this just controls them nicely. So let's get on with that. I'll just make up this layer, and then I'll make up the second layer as well with all of the water slabs and all that kind of thing, and I'll do that at high speed. So there we go, that's what we've got so far. Now something that I forgot to mention before, which is probably a good idea, is we're going to need some ice on this level as well. Not much, just a couple of strips, just to make sure that when items get flushed forward by the water, that they slide underneath the blocks nicely. Whoa, there we go. Yeah, that just proves the point that they can make it straight through the first layer of iron blocks. Right there. Okay, so what I was saying was we need to get in some of this ice. So we need to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So on the 9th block we want that strip to all be ice. Packed ice or normal ice, it doesn't matter. But let's get that done, and then we're going to do the same again. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So on this 9th one, same again. Now this should actually marry up underneath with the slabs. So that's exactly where we wanted it. So I'll get on, make those stripes up, and then we'll put in the water sources and all that kind of thing, and we'll do that in super fast motion. Right, that's all of the signs and slabs down. Just to recap, so those slabs are going above the ice, which we placed 9 blocks from the edge. And same again back here, it's 9 blocks back from the last strip there. And then whatever's left at the end, we just fill in with water. So I'll just run along, fill this in with water. And there we go, that's all of the water streams in. Now, from experience, what I've found is that this will actually control the iron as it flies up. You'll control it quite well. Just want to collect those. Don't know why, I don't need them. This is creative, but you know, habits die hard. Now, finally, we just want to put in another solid layer on top. And we want that to run all the way across here. And up to there. Yeah. So let's just do that one very quickly on camera. So I need to do the fill command wherever I am to wherever I'm going to be, -1 block down, and I want to fill it with iron blocks, and that's that. So if I just quickly zip over there and then go down on top of there, because this is the second part of the command that I just typed in, and it just fills it in. So that is basically everything. On the other farm, on the other side over there, I did quite a lot of decoration on the front just for a bit of interest, but you don't really need that. The one thing that I would say is you do need to sort of fill this in, so let's just get that done now. I'll do that with commands as well. So fill from here to wherever I'm going to be with 1 block down from where I'm stood, and we're going to fill with iron blocks. Now, next thing that I need to do is just go over here, find the block that I want to stand on, and then run the command again. And there we go, that is it, basically working. So, final thing is getting in something to collect here. So, the way that I had it set up before was I had a couple of chests and a couple of hoppers, and that's basically it. Hopper. I wish I could spell. Right, so I'm going to place the chests right here, right in the middle. There we go, there's some lovely bits and bobs getting collected up. Now the hoppers, I shift click into the back of these chests and then shift click into the side of the hoppers, and that should make sure that everything gets collected up nice and tidily. Now, oh yeah, I forgot about that. I've got solid blocks above the chest there. It's never going to open like that. Beginner's error. Now, I could just put some slabs in there, which would make it look nice, or maybe some stairs back to front, but I don't think I really need to do that now. So let's just put those bits in that I collected as we were building it and enjoy our 100% efficient iron farm. Right, so there you go, that's everything finished. It's all up and working now. I just thought it might be quite fun to go inside and actually look at it actually working right now. So I'll just update the game mode and let's just fly inside straight through the villages, through the redstone, and there you go. I'll just leave it on this view for a while and see what happens. Mission accomplished. So as you saw, it actually spawned off the ground here in the middle of the redstone area. All of this that's clear that you can see is redstone. So if I sort of slide all up to that there you go, you can see it quite clearly. And another spawn, that's lovely. And that's the 30 villagers making a bit of a helping hand there and making sure that the counter keeps going even if there is a golem in here dying already. So that's perfect. Yeah, well, let's wait for this one as well. Well, I'd just like to say thank you very much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did enjoy it, please do leave a like. It makes a huge difference. And if you'd like to see more stuff like this, add a subscribe as well. And if you've got any questions, drop me a comment. I'm very happy to get back to any questions, no problem at all. And thank you very much.